be all else to me save that thou art, thou my best thought, by day or by night, waking or sleeping, thy presence my light. Riches I heed not, nor vain empty praise, thou mine inheritance now and always, thou and thou my great Father, and I thy true Son. Thou in me dwelling, and I with thee one. Riches I heed not, nor vain empty praise, thou mine inheritance now and always, thou and thou only, first in my heart. I, King of heaven, my treasure thou art. I, King of heaven, my victory won, may I reach heaven's joys, O bright heaven's sun. Heart of my own heart, whatever befall, still be my vision, O ruler of all. Still be my vision, O ruler of all. Abide with me, fast falls the eventide, the darkness deepens, Lord, with me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, abide with me. Swift to its close ebbs our life's little day, earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass away, change and decay, in all around I see. O thou who changest not, abide with me. Oh, with thee at hand to bless, else I've no way, and 'tis no bitterness. Where is death's sting? Where grave thy victory? I triumph still if thou abide with me. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, yeah. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. The Lord hath promised good to me. His word my hope secures. He will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's God's praise than when we first begun. Timothy, how you doing, man? Good day to you. Yeah. Still recovering, believe it or not. Haven't got my full voice back yet, but yeah, happy to have the little that I do have. How's your week? It's been a while since we got to chat it out for a bit. So I don't think the last stream, but maybe the stream before that, that guy that I don't even know if you noticed, but I was a little surprised when he came on, Matthew Seeley. Used to be a band, one of my bandmates in Wasso. And that's like the first interaction I've had with him in, I don't know, over a year at least. But yeah, we didn't exactly end on great terms. I mean, I forgave the dude, but yeah, I was just caught off guard by him being in the chat. Doing well. You got sick? About to have an elliptical dropped off. Looking forward to that. Oh, you got yourself an elliptical? Yeah, man, I got sick, dude. January wrecked me, dude. I was like, I got that stomach bug at the beginning of the month, like day one, and then I lost my voice for a little bit. I had a cough. Like, oh, thank God that's over. And then right before the end of the month, I got like a fever and got my cough back and all that stuff. So I think there was some heavy detox going on. Yeah, I thought I noticed that energy when he popped in. Yeah, dude, it was strange, to say the least. But you know, I don't wish any ill will on those guys. But I mean, like I said, it didn't exactly end on great terms. He was talking about not wanting to be associated with me and because of my beliefs. But anyways, yeah, just thought I'd mention that since you were on when that happened. Cool. So is elliptical, that's part of your exercise routine you're planning for 2023? They heard me singing and they told me to stop. Quit these pretentious things and just punch the clock. These days my life, I feel it has no purpose. But late at night, the feelings swim to the surface. Cause on the surface, the city lights shine. They're calling at me, come and find your kind. Sometimes I wonder if the world's so small that we can never get away from the sprawl. Living in the sprawl. Dead shopping malls rise like mountains beyond mountains, and there's no end in sight. I need the darkness, someone please cut the lights. We rode our bikes to the nearest park. Yeah, that is always tough. When I got into Vaishnavism, that happened to me too. Yeah, that's part of it. I just can't see me going to a gym. Yeah, man, going to a gym sucks. I haven't been to a gym since college. I was going to the one because we got free access to it. I don't miss it though, not at all. I like to run outside whenever I do exercise, although my exercise has kind of gone by the wayside. I basically get exercise when I go to the property and moving stuff around, but I used to be pretty diligent with going on runs and stuff. Like 2 or 3, probably two times a week on average. But yeah, elliptical, that'll be good. Ellipticals are great. You can pop on a podcast or something, watch something, keep you distracted. I really, it was interesting because I remember Owen's friend, or his fitness friend from LA, talking about how he doesn't believe in distracting yourself at all, not listening to anything when you're on your run. But man, that would be hard for me because that's kind of how I get through it. That's my that's how I can enjoy it in any degree. But I'm sure there's something to that. Just really focusing in on the run. We rode our bikes to the nearest park. Sat under the swings and kissed in the dark. We shield our eyes from the police lights. We run away, but we don't know why. And like a river, the city lights shine. They're calling at me, come and find your kind. Sometimes I wonder if the world's so small. Can we ever get away from the sprawl? Living in the sprawl. Dead shopping malls rise like mountains beyond mountains, and there's no end in sight. I need the darkness, someone please cut the lights. They heard me singing and they told me to stop. quit these pretentious things and just punch the clock. Sometimes I wonder if the world's so small. Can we ever get away from the sprawl? Living in the sprawl. Dead shopping malls rise like mountains beyond mountains, and there's no wind inside. I need the darkness, someone please cut the light. I need the darkness, someone please cut the light. I always put on music when I work out. I really don't enjoy working out because it's so boring, but when I run, I don't have any distractions. I like jujitsu because there is like a chess match. There, it's like a chess match. So you're working out, but you're distracted by trying to defeat your opponent. That's interesting. Yeah, I've never done any like sort of fighting stuff. So you're like going up against people and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, your brain is engaged because it's like a game. That's cool. Yeah. I love listening to stuff. Whenever I work out, it's really just to get my blood pumping. Like, I just want to get my cardiovascular system going, so I just do cardio nowadays. But I had a friend in college who was into running. He's like, oh, don't you care about your time? Like, yeah, it's all about like getting your time up. I'm like, no, I just go for 20 minutes. I pop on something I'm interested in, and yeah, I feel good afterwards. I feel like I got my body going, got the juices flowing. I've been working on my song still. I'm hoping I can get it all tracked in February. But I got the mix popping a little bit more. This dude I'm following on YouTube, I don't think I've even subscribed. I need to subscribe to his channel because he's dope. It's called Hardcore Music Studio or something. I highly recommend you checking out his channel if you want to learn more about mixing. Just cut through the BS, because he really boils it down to the meat and potatoes of it. Just getting a really good EQ and dialing in compression, and that's what like the great engineers know about. That's really just doing these simple moves. Yeah, I've learned a ton in the last couple months. Really dig his stuff. Been applying all this stuff to my mix as I've been just tracking the demo. And I'm like, wow, this sounds better than anything I've ever mixed before. And I'm just, getting these scratch tracks. Yeah, I prefer cardio for sure. With weightlifting, I also focus heavy on balance and technique as a way to distract myself. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but haven't really done much bodybuilding in my day. I tried, believe it or not. I tried in high school and college. I was doing the protein powder and stuff. Cool. Oh, sweet. You subscribe to that guy? Yeah, man. He's got like a wealth of good advice. And he talks about tracking and mixing. What was interesting about him that I have not seen other people talk about is that a lot of channels and a lot of people really focus on subtracting when they do their EQ. They try and take out all the nasty stuff. But he found that, which tends to be in the low mids, by the way. A lot of people like to cut that, including myself for a while. But he says if you take that out, you create a big hole in your mix, and that's where a lot of the energy of the mix lies, is in those low mids. So anyways, he has an additive approach. So instead of subtracting, you add, and that makes it more exciting, which I've found to be true. It's pretty interesting. Everything I've been doing has been legit. Yeah, and you're suggesting I also subscribe to that Chris Lipe guy. Cool. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. He's not afraid to make some really weird noises on his channel. And talk about, instead of talking about your abs, he calls them your poop muscles, which is very, very accurate, but hilarious that he would be willing to say that. I gotta check the compression once I get off here, because I was dialing in the compression a little bit on my voice. Yeah, compression, fascinating tool. I'm learning a lot about that. Just attack and release, how that affects the sound. Quite a mystery to me for a long time, and I've been using it pretty wrong for a long time too. So I'm happy to finally wrap my head around that. All right, you got any requests? I did. I've already done Be Thou My Vision, Abide With Me. I did Amazing Grace. I know a couple others. Do Come Thou Fount. Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy praise. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of thy redeeming love. Here I raise my Ebenezer, here there by thy help I've come, that and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God, he to rescue me from danger interposed his precious blood. Here, oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. Let thy goodness like a fetter bind my wandering heart to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it, prone to leave the God I love. Here is my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy courts above. Have you been watching that the Nephilim Look Like Clowns series by Conspiracy RS? I have not watched those yet, but my interest is almost peaked. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's good, man. It's a good series. He lays down a pretty compelling case that the Nephilim might have looked like clowns. Um, and that explains why, I don't know, kind of partially explains why clowns are still around. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've never met someone who's like, yes, clowns are great. I love me some clowns. It's always just like, oh yeah, I guess we're supposed to like this on some weird level. But yeah, it goes into like DMT trips, why everyone sees jesters and stuff. And a lot of different cultures having like these jester-like creatures. The jester hat that comes out like that. Well, some cultures have these characters that are like look like that, except it's not a hat. It's like these weird protrusions, fleshy protrusions coming out of their head. So yeah, it's pretty interesting rabbit hole. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that comes in along the way, like zigzag lines, what that has to do with the spirit world. I don't know, pretty fascinating stuff. Are you looking forward to the Trinity debate? I just saw that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm in Jesus is not God camp, and I don't really see Jim Bob like giving a compelling argument. I mean, I haven't really been watching his stuff too much. Maybe he's been giving some interesting arguments, but I'm not convinced from anything I've heard thus far. And everyone who is pro Jesus is God basically comes to the fact that it's just like, well, this is just my belief. And, at least the good ones, all the good ones are just like, yeah, this is what's been revealed to me. And there's no really logical reason for it, but this is just what I believe. I think clowns appear to be mocking the white collar way of dressing. Interesting. Yeah, there could be something to that. Yeah, clowns are just creepy. So, and they've got red hair. They've got like red hair, which like red giants, red cannibal giants, red-headed cannibal giants were like a thing apparently in the Americas. The red around the mouth might be another reference to cannibalism because they're just walking around eating people. I don't know, man. Nephilim stuff is it's never like really, really grabbed me to where like I'm not one of those people, but it's kind of interesting to think about, to wonder about these grotesque giants, especially the really, really big ones, which maybe those were the titans of the Greek mythology, but like literally the size of mountains walking around. Oh man, I watched a terrible movie with Felicia called Downsizing. And I knew it was going to be bad, but it kind of had an interesting premise where it's so gay. Like they're saying that global warming is a thing, so we have to figure out a way to make people have less of an impact on the environment. So basically they make them to where they're really tiny. They like get injected with something and they get really small. And it could have been a way more, like, starting with that premise, even though the global warming stuff's really stupid. But you know, you could have still gone a lot of interesting ways with it, and they just did the worst thing you could. Like, literally, Felicia and I were just lost interest. They had this, like, gold, and they're just like, well, just, like, let it fall on the ground, get all dirty. The plot, all that stuff could have been so good. But anyways, the one thing that was interesting about it to me was... I'm going to ruin the movie for you, the ending. The world ends up being doomed anyways because of gas being leaked from Antarctica coming out of the ice caps. And anyways, this tiny new human race has to, like, go on some sort of... we didn't even watch the end, we just looked up the end, but they go on to save the human race, a little bit of them. So anyways, the gravy of that was, I do think that maybe, like, throughout the history of the world, the earth, like, there's been different cataclysms, and people have gradually gotten smaller and smaller with each reset. And maybe people were freaking huge back in the day, like Adam and Eve, you know? I don't know what your take is on that. Yeah, I haven't watched much Jim Bob lately, and I'm not too concerned about the outcome, but it should be hilarious. I'm also pretty sure Jesus is God's son. I'm sure it won't be so important in the end. Yeah, Jesus is God's son. That makes sense. But then we also believe, or Christians also believe, that we're all God's children, I guess, once we are on the path. But yeah, the woodshop bear, I don't know if you heard that letter talking about Isaac and Abraham. That was kind of interesting. So, what do you think about like Buddha and Muhammad and all those guys? Do you think they were just like, I tend to think of them as being below Jesus, but maybe still like in the ranking somewhere of like their role. Like Owen was saying, like how maybe they all got their own prophet that spoke to them in a way that resonated. Nephilim rabbit hole haven't really pulled me in. Yeah, me neither. It's kind of interesting to think about sometimes, but I don't know. Unless I have some, like, at this point, I just haven't cared that much, even though it's kind of fun to think about every now and then. But yeah, I'm sure I definitely don't see Jim Bob and Owen having some sort of rift over this, but yeah, it's good. I think Jim Bob probably had to, if he wanted to keep having his Trinity beliefs. He's probably like, well, you know, it's time to have this debate and move on from there. So, but I'll definitely be into... Jim Bob's the kind of guy who is gonna put the best argument possible forward. So if anyone's going to give Owen a run for his money on this, I think it would be him, because he just understands logic and how Owen thinks, and so yeah, it'll be I'll be curious for sure to see. Was that happening on Wednesday? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Yeah, the Vaishnavas believe when there is a rise in religion and a fall in religion, God comes or sends his direct representative based on time, place, and circumstances. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah. Fascinating. All right, I'm going to do one more song, then I'm going to go on and get out of here. Good hanging out with you today, man. I pour red milk into a glass, a tablespoon of black striped molasses, beat one raw egg in. Saturated raw fats, getting minerals such as potassium, magnesium, iron, selenium. And I thank God for what he has done. And I thank God for the stars, moon, and the sun. I want this for everyone, but I tried and now I find you cannot pry a closed eye open. Breaking down pallets in the mud, I got them from Brian Hood. He found them late one night. He went out there with no help, loaded them up himself, so I could use the wood to build up a house inside a barn that I bought with my wife and my son, so we could live and not be slaves with alone. And I was desperate for a friend, it was Brian, and I will never forget it. Whoa, 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 I believe Jim Bob has been sharpening his logic sword on lesser foes in preparation for this debate. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it will be interesting for sure. I will definitely be tuning in. But anyways, good talking with you this Sunday. Glad we could catch up. It's always nice when you hop on. Anyways, I'll be on here tomorrow morning. You know the drill. But hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. And yeah, man, we'll see you next time.